So something controversial has been in the news lately surrounding a game called Kingdom Come Deliverance, which I found out you own.
Yes. I backed it on Kickstarter just seeing a trailer and discussion about it about 4 years ago.
So you own it, but you haven't played it.
No, I haven't played it yet. I just threw like $10 at it and found out that it actually was coming out a while back. And,
Yeah.
oh, well, maybe I'd get it.
Before I brought it up, did you know there was controversy around it?
No, I hadn't backed it knowing there was controversy.
Yeah, I stumbled upon some random news story or video about it. And I just thought it was interesting because it kind of leads into a lot of other questions about how we kind of perceive media, and I guess in like what's okay and what's not okay in creation these days, I guess, in a lot of ways. And the big controversy around it was that there weren't any, I guess, black people or Asians or whatever in this medieval setting game.
Yeah. It kind of got raised again when it released, but it started when it first was getting backed.
And I don't think it was nearly as big of a problem until like one of the developers, one of the guys, maybe the director or something, came out and started feeding that fire.
I think, what did he say? He said when he was responding why there was no ethnicities. So we left ethnicities just because there were none in Bohemia at those times. That's all. Or better, they were very, very rare.
Yeah. And it's a game that prides itself on historical accuracy. And I'm no historian. I don't know.
There was
yes or no, but
in that time though.
There were?
Yeah. This was in response to other people backing up that there was art depictions. There were the Mongols in that time.
Yeah. And then I remember reading later on in the story basically that he kind of just said, well, it doesn't matter anyway. This is my creation and I get to do it my way.
Yeah. And they also said, they did say the game covers about 9 square kilometers.
Yeah,
so
which isn't a lot of space.
It could have been a very restricted
walk around
area.
Ladner and have the exact same experience.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, but the argument that I even just see is that, yeah, it was somebody's creating it, and they are allowed to do it whatever way they want. I don't see a problem with anybody of any genre of art of any kind doing anything they want in it. And if people don't have a problem with it, they can simply not consume that entertainment or view that art or take part in discussions, or if they want to, they can do that too. They got every right to talk about it. But I think people were really like, I mean, he said a lot of just incendiary things he didn't need to say, for sure.
It wasn't handled politically.
But it always feels like these things get blown way bigger out of proportion than they probably ought to be. And I think a lot of it is just headline grabbing. People want the story. They want clicks, and that kind of stuff does get the clicks. So it's even hard to judge of how these people actually feel about everything. But yeah, my kind of attitude on that is I think art forms should just be that. If someone wants to be a dick in their art, they're allowed to be. And if someone wants to be hyper politically correct in their art, they're allowed to be that too. And we're allowed to have opinions about it, and we're allowed to share those opinions too, but
I'd say the line there, though, is if it is directly affecting someone else.
Yeah, exactly.
In some way.
Yeah, if you're somehow actually harming somebody, I mean, that's never okay. But it gets me into other things I was thinking about, like as, well, he was mentioning a lot of the Gamergate stuff, which I didn't even know what happened when it happened. I read about it all later, but I guess it was just a lot about sexism in video games, if I'm like kind of remembering how it all worked.
You got a lot of examples of
and I know there were a lot
women
of
as the damsel in distress or the sexy
and I think
plug.
Like I can understand not wanting to alienate an entire gender from something, but video games appealed to guys, so they made them for guys. I mean, that kind of just made sense.
That's kind of a holdover. Yeah, it's changed now.
Yeah, well, it's just become
significantly.
And I don't know why that is, except probably just changes in culture. Back in the 80s and 90s when video games first came out, it was mostly just dudes in their basements playing them. Like, that's kind of... guys are more susceptible, I think, to social isolation in a lot of ways, and banding together with their bros and just kind of being awkwardly... socially awkward and doing that kind of thing.
You kind of have the same thing with like the new Overwatch League. Okay. You've got all these random dudes who used to just play the game, now thrust into the limelight, and they're actually getting, like, they're streamed online, they're on TV, and some of them are saying dumb things.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Like tweeting dumb things that they shouldn't, because it's a new It's changed.
You're taking the dwellers out of the basement and you're putting them in the limelight. Yeah, you gotta kind of take all of the baggage with it. And these people, I mean, no one prepares to be in the spot like that either. No. Especially when you're playing a game where it's such a, it can be a very solitary thing where you're just sitting in your room. You might be connected audibly to people, but it got me going from there too. Like even further, I was thinking about it with there's no girl character in Kingdom Come. I think is one of the things.
That was one of the things they were.
It was like a stretch goal of their Kickstarter or whatever.
And there is no, well, all the women are pretty subservient in the game.
Which that might be historically accurate too. I mean, it doesn't take much of a stretch of an imagination to see how.
Don't actually know anything about that history, so I'm not going into.
Yeah, I don't know enough to really say anything about it, but one could definitely extrapolate into the past just by looking past the past few decades and seeing how more equal the genders have become in most roles. But yeah, no girl character, and then it got me thinking, well, you and I especially are like always girl characters in games, and that's a funny aspect of the Gamergate thing, which takes me back to that. It's like, yeah, the girls are always really attractive, and that's why personally I like being them more than the guys. If I'm gonna stare at a character for thousands of hours potentially, I may as well make a character that is nice to look at. And there's a lot of like claim about that being kind of a sexist thing of using this ideal or perfect or beyond perfect looking woman, but frankly the guys all in games are way out of attainable means for most guys.
Yeah, I'm not some massive beefcake.
Not even close. So it was always kind of seemed, I don't know, just odd to me that people would be complaining about the female models in games being unrealistic when the guy models in games I think are pretty damn unrealistic too. But that's neither here nor there. It more came down just to the art of even that.
There is one thing point in Kingdom's favor in that regard is that the main character is a wimp.
Yeah.
You're not some god going out to just smite everyone with their sword. You are some spindly guy who gets knocked around and struggles to fight.
Yeah, well, it's going for realism, right? That's probably the case for most people. Yeah, but even the way they make their characters, if an artist, male or female, wants to create, a really attractive character, I don't know. You can complain about it all you want, but is that really something to focus your energy on? It's like somebody just wanted to make something that they liked, and maybe they did want to make it so that other people would like it too. Again, is that something to really complain about? I don't know. I mean, if you want to go after setting like bad body image type stuff, I'd say there are other industries to definitely attack before video games, especially because video games are so unrealistic when it comes down to it. Yeah, so that's kind of all I had down there for that too. There's definitely other mediums that suffer the same fate from that kind of trend of hyper political correct, but like I wrote down like comedy is a good example. Like we watch some of the movies of the past, like sitcoms and stuff, and it's just like there's so many things that would not fly today.
Yeah,
it's just a rolling, changing culture, and I think the internet has really exploded things, and we're not quite used to how broad, I guess, the opinion landscape is quite yet. But we'll probably learn.
Yep.
Yeah. So you think you'll play Kingdom Come eventually?
Oh, sometime.
I've just got... Since you paid for it?
Yeah.
Another one of those.
I did pay for it, but I didn't pay nearly as much as other people, so.
Oh, you got like a deal for getting it early.
Oh, it was like $10.
And now it's a $60 game? Or?
I think it's a $60 game or $69.